Authentic content. Global audience.
They here in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. This is Wake Up Nigeria, and we're reaching you live from our SRO studio here in Abuja. My name is Princess KESSY, and I have with me as usual
Patience OKOSUN.
How was your night, Patience?
It's just fine. This one you're all on black. Hope all is well.
All is well.
You're looking
but
good.
Not really all black. I have white. I have on my shoes as well.
Actually, you look good.
Yes, I feel like I woke up cold.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. I'm just cold. Even up till now, I'm cold.
Wow, you mean the weather or your?
Yes, I think the weather. Or maybe I left my fan on and I woke up in the middle of the night. I was already catching cold and was caught in cold. I had to put it off and cover. Up till now, I'm still feeling that cold.
Don't worry, get over it with time. This our son. Very soon.
No, man,
get over it.
Everywhere will be very hot. Anyway, we have a lot of trending issues this morning. But we're going to talk about we know that the economy, because of the economy meltdown, a lot of food stuff have been skyrocketing and all that.
Yeah.
But there is a very scary news this morning. Local rice, the price is going up, and because we have issues of insecurity affecting the farmers, a lot of high in fertilizer, a lot of things. Yes. So I don't know how we're going to cope, but just really do hope that people will always find their way around this thing. So we move on quickly this morning with the newspaper reviews. And of course, we're going to start with the Guardian newspaper. And these are some of the stories we have making waves this morning. 40 days to go. FEC approves over 100 billion naira contracts. Now, that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. We also have a story here that says crack widens in APC over alleged misuse of 30 billion naira zoning concerns. Now, that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says athletes, officials panic as National Stadium Lagos floodlights collapses. That story is on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says 20 years on, family relieves memories of Adeife Akiola Akidoko. Another story is on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says SS crude accounts are down to 474 $754 says FAAC. Now, that story is on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says Total Shell to end gas flaring as stakeholders decry industry loopholes. That story is on page 10 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Now, these are some of the stories we have making waves this morning. But if I don't know, why is it that each time governor, each administration is packing up ready to go, the next thing they do is that they start giving contracts.
I saw this morning and I was like, okay, now he's ready to leave. He's ready to go, and now he's decided to release money as much as that. Anyways, it's actually a good one.
And then there's this alarming athletes, officials panic as National Stadium Lagos floodlight collapses. I think was it not the same stadium that they are owing so much electricity
bill? Yes, I think we read that headline here some time ago.
I think we can see that it's the rains there in the rains in Lagos are really heavy these days.
Yes, it seems Abuja rain is a fine girl. She doesn't want to fall.
But you know now, here in Abuja, we hardly have rains, and when it comes, it just go and stop. But in Lagos,
it's really raining.
Where I'm from,
sometimes
it could rain for days without stopping, for months without stopping. Really do hope that drainages have been opened and things have been put in place so that we don't have issues of flooding here and there. And as well, we'll have a story here that say crack widens in APC over alleged misuse of 30 billion naira. Now, these are the issues. You find out that our politicians, it's just about the money, if you ask me. I don't think they even have anybody's interest.
Okay, now Buhari has actually released a huge amount of money. At least if I can remember, I think for roads actually. Now I think they need to follow up that contract. It's not really. This 30 billion naira, I believe, was given out for something, but they misused it. That's why I always keep emphasizing that once a contract is given out, there should be a follow-up to see that this money are used for the right purpose, and we get to see the difference. Well,
anyway, we move on quickly to the other newspaper we have this morning in line.
And then coming from Daily Trust newspaper this morning, the major headline here says high fertilizer prices threaten wet season farming. And then on the rider here says 50 kg costs 30,000 naira or more. High cost may cause food inflation, and FG states must act now. Stakeholders. You find that story on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. We also have a story coming that says 40 days to go. Buhari government approves 1.535 trillion naira for 11 road projects. We also have a story that says banditry, 308 killed, 746 kidnapped in Kaduna in 3 months. Reports. We have a story also that says Tinubu asks police to probe Adamawa election controversy. You find that story on the front page of Daily Trust newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says death toll hit 151 as Lassa fever spread to 26 states. You find that story on page 25 of Daily Trust newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says 3,298 inmates on death row. 3,298 inmates on death row correctional service. You find that story on page 25 of Daily Trust newspaper this morning. We also have a story coming that says Buhari returns from Saudi Arabia as Sudan crisis forces flights rerouting. You find that story on page 5 of Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Those are the story making waves this morning from Daily Trust newspaper. I think a lot is happening in the front page of this Daily Trust newspaper, starting from the high cost of fertilizer, which we have actually
talked. We're not seeing here the rider says 50 kg costs 30,000 naira or more. High cost may cause food inflation. FG states must act now. Stakeholders now. We know that the federal government then said, oh, they don't want to bring in foreign rice because we can produce enough for us that will go around for people to eat. And now we're having issues. So if it's as expensive as this, why will I want to buy local rice? After all, there's always sand sometimes in this local ones to buy. Yes, so I really do think that the high fertilizer prices also is another problem. We have the flooding that happened last year that destroyed a lot of farmlands. I know a lot of people, farmers, actually lamented that. And then we now have insecurity to top it all. We are now having high price of fertilizers.
A lot is going on actually.
It's really something federal government and states should act according to the stakeholders. They must act now. And then we also have a story here that say banditry, 308 killed, 746 kidnapped. Now,
in 3 months,
we've said it over time on the show that I think the federal government is neglecting, I don't know, this part, because these people have been yearning, they've been crying. And then I think at this point, these people need help. Let's look at Kaduna, let's look at Benue, Niger State.
Yeah.
These people really do need help. This is not something that we just read and then people go their way as if nothing is happening. A lot of people are out of their homes, they are in the bushes. Even where they are not safe as well. Now, when you don't have anywhere to go to and your own home, your land is not safe, what become of this person? The agency, the security agencies, and of course, federal government need to do something as a matter of urgency. And then I saw this story here as well that says death toll hits 151 as Lassa fever spread to 26 states. Now, we brought in a doctor here on the show the other time. We
that
talked
spoke
about
this,
the Lassa fever issue and all that. I really do hope that people will listen and know how to clean their environments and know how to tidy up their homes as well to avoid things
because
like this. And then
stores are
cover your food as well.
Yeah, they are caused by rodents, so you
Yes,
need to
cover
cover
your
your
food,
food.
cover anything you take in, and of course, even your home, your environment. If you don't have bushes, if you don't have dirty environment, I don't think these rodents will see anywhere to hide, because of course they live around the bushes and all that. And then I saw another story here as well that says 3,298 inmates on death row correctional service. Now this is so
sad,
sad.
actually, so sad.
This is so sad. You know how it is when somebody, I just feel like no matter their crime, and then you're just sitting waiting for that
the day
you will be killed.
That's torturing. I feel it's torturing.
That is the highest punishment when anyone can actually get. Anyway, we hope that others also will learn from this and try to do things right in the society. Not be a problem to the society, but of course, useful to themselves and people around. And we'll move on quickly to the Punch newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories we have on the Punch this morning. Insecurity. Local rice price jumps by 200%. And the writer says rice price soar from uh, 173 kg to 521 kg under Buhari despite government intervention. Now this is coming from the MBS this morning. And then we'll have another story here that says rice farmers, producers, experts blame rising inflation, insecurity, orders for rice woes. Now all these stories are on page 19 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And of course we have another story here that says Buhari returns, avoid Sudan airspace. That story is on page 29 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says Adamawa poll. Police warned against cover up. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says FAAC allocation drops as federal government states share 715 billion naira. Now that story is on page 19 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says Lagos mob burns BRT bus as driver dies in crash. That story is on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says RFI raises the alarm over insecurity ahead of May 29. That story is on page 2 and 30 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that say Ogun father chains stab 2 children to death. That story is on page 5 and 4 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says substandard materials quacks caused banana island building collapse. That story is on page 20, and that is the report we're getting from the building collapse that happened just last week. Now, I saw a story here. I don't know why I'm having goosebumps all of a sudden. I'm just feeling cold that the Ogun father Shane's stabs 2 children to death. Now, I don't want to know why he did that, the reasons, but this kind of people should not be left roaming on the streets.
Someone that can kill or that can his own child,
no matter what
can do anything,
no matter what happened. I just and not just killing them, the starving alone before the death. It's the punishment, and they are children. It's really sad. And then I saw this story here. RFI raises the alarm over insecurity ahead of May 20. So RFI is only concerned about May 29, if I may ask, because we've been having
a lot
quarantine issue of banditry, kidnapping, killings for months. And then why is it just coming out? Because we have a special event for May 29. This shows that our politicians, like I will always say, sometimes I don't think they really care about the people. And then a story here also that say Lagos mob burns BRT bus as driver dies in crash. Now, is really sad. I just really do hope that we get to a place where no matter what happens, we leave the securities to do their jobs and to um, investigate issues properly before we take the laws into our hands. Now, these are some of the stories making waves from Punch this morning.
And then moving to the next newspaper coming from Nigeria Tribune. The major headline here says $2.4 billion crude oil probe. Reps summon Finance Minister AGF over payment of $200 million consultancy fee. And then the rider here says ask CBN to provide details of payments to beneficiaries' accounts. You find the story on page 2 of the Nigeria Tribune newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says Abuja collapse war claimed 2 lives, 4 rescued. FEMA. You find that story on on the front page of Nigeria Tribune newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says dismissed Delta killer cop arraigned, remanded in prison. You find that story on page 29 of the Nigeria Tribune newspaper this morning. El Fitar, federal government declares Friday, Monday, public holiday. We also have a story. Fire Gods Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State Studio. I'll take that again. Fire Gods Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State Studio. You find that story on the front page of the Nigeria Tribune newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says Kaduna insecurity. Bandits killed 1,266, kidnapped 4,973 in 15 months. You'll find that story on page 6 of the Nigeria Tribune newspaper this morning. Labour Party crisis deepening. Apapa-led ESCOs. Right INEC submits list of Imo Kogi governor candidates. Labour Party crisis deepening. Apapa-led ESCOs. Right INEC submits list of Imo Kogi governor candidates. We also have a story that says FAAC, federal government, state, local government share 714. Sorry, I'll take that again. FAAC, federal government, states, local government share 714, 629 billion naira match revenue. You find that story on page 6 of the Nigeria Tribune newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says Adamawa, why Buhari did not interfere in pool debacle, federal government. And then the rider here says Fintiri receives certificate of return, insists REC must be prosecuted. And then NSCDC DG summon state commandant. And then we also have a story. Tinubu calls for thorough investigation, congratulates Fitiri. You find the story on page 15 of the Nigeria Tribune newspaper this morning. Those are the story making waves this morning from Nigeria Tribune.
Wow,
and then
a lot
I saw the story that says Abuja collapse war claimed 2 lives.
I'm going to bring in another civil engineer as regarding to that. So I was planning to bring the person so we have him on a full segment, not just on the morning show, so that we talk more on that.
We need to know what's happening.
Yes. And because the rains are coming, and
yes, a lot of
during this rainy season that you have a lot of building collapse here and there. And then I also saw a story here that says gridlock as driver dies in Lagos crash. BRT bus burns, 7 passengers rescued. Latma. Now I don't know.
That's so painful.
Yes, it is.
It is actually painful, but what could cause this fire?
See the details of that story as well. And then on Friday, civil servants, they are really enjoying on Friday.
We are here. We are here with you guys.
And then tomorrow is public holiday just again, and then we also have a Monday as well, public holiday. That is
a good one. Guys are chilling.
Yes, they should have fun. And then we'll move on quickly to the next newspaper we have here, and that would be the Vanguard newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories we have making waves. We have here Tinubu, Fintiri seek police inquest into Adamawa polls. And the writer here says, as Fintiri seeks prosecution of criminality behind drama. We also have a story here, say apologize for attack on National Commission. Why Buhari did not intervene in why Buhari did not intervene. And then we'll have a federal, that is coming from federal government, says president didn't use security against opposition during polls. Now, all these stories are on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also have a story here that says NSCDC boss summons state commandant. Fintiri orders get certificates of return. All these stories are on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Again, we have a story here that says Ohaneze fumes over Kanu's detention, allaying health. That story is on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we'll have another story here that says 1,266 killed, 4,973 kidnapped in 15 months, Kaduna government. And that story is on page 29 of the Punch newspaper. And then we'll have a story here as well that says energy poverty. Over 60% of Nigerians' population lack power. Now, this is coming from the NLNG. As well, we'll have another story here that says federal government declares Friday, Monday public holidays. And now that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also have a story here that says why 3,298 inmates are on death row in Nigeria prison service. We have a story here as well that says Flying Eagles yet to be paid qualifying bonuses. This is coming from the Sport Dex this morning. And then we also have a story here that says Eid Fitri, Sultan of Sokoto urges Muslims to watch for new moon. That story is on page 29 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says that due judiciary process will be followed on Aruremen's NNPCM matter. Now, this is coming from Buhari this morning, and that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. These are some of the stories we have making waves this morning. I saw a story here. That says
this over 60% of Nigeria population lacks
power. Yes, that's the story I was looking for. I was just looking for it. That's the story I wanted to talk on. Like, so why are we now at this in a country over 60% lack power? Then that means we don't have power.
Yes,
actually.
We don't have power.
I was actually
that's more than half
story.
of the population in this
country. So it doesn't make
I think
sense.
we need to they need to find a way to reach out. Yes, please, they need to do more. We need power
and then
survive.
You pay so much
for electricity
bill. You don't see,
and then we don't get power.
Yes, you don't get it. You can't make use of it. And especially those people that are being billed on direct billing. At the end of the day, you don't see the light, and month ending they will bring their bills. They don't care whether Nigerians are groaning, whether Nigerians are crying.
This we are already facing a lot as a Nigerian citizen. These people power supply. You guys need to do more. We need light in every sector, in our businesses, in our homes, in our offices.
There is no sector, there is no business, there is nothing that can function well without power. Without power. So I am thinking that, and that is why then I had this show, and a lot of people were craving that we should go to solar, because as it stands, we are not even getting the power we're supposed to get, and then you pay for it, you still don't get it. So it's better we go
down to solar. But then we appeal to them, please, you need to wake up. We need this life as Nigerians to survive. And then
We move on quickly to
the next newspaper. We're coming from the Blueprint newspaper this morning. The major headline here says, El-Rufai to federal government on May 29, intensify security operations for peaceful transaction. And then we transition. I'll beg your pardon. I'll take that again. Intensify security operations for peaceful transition. And then we have the rider here that says, once criminal outlaw can exploit 39 days gap. 1,266 residents killed, 4,973 kidnapped in 15 months in Kaduna. We also have a story here that says 16 killed in Zamfara, 8 rescued in Benue. And then we also have a story here that says Lagos prays for Tinubu smooth handover. You find the story on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. We have a story also coming from Blueprint that says El-Rufai, federal government declares Friday, Monday public holiday. You find that story on page 5 of the Blueprint newspaper. And then we have a story also that says ex-Blueprint defense correspondent Indise authors 3 books on insurgency. You find that story on page 13 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. Nigeria currency in circulation hits 1.6 trillion naira in March. You find that story on page 23 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. APC convene NEC meeting in 7 days or face court action, Lukman tells Adamu. You find that story on page 5 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. E-Customs project, despite court order, fake OK's fresh memo. And then the writer here says, court slants definite hearing for June 8th. We also have a story this morning that says NNPC Buhari converses due process on Ararumen. Federal government moves appeal. You find that story on page 7 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. RMRDC reducing importation of web offset link. You find that story on page 18 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. And so finally coming from the Blueprint, Adamawa Tinubu 6 police rec probe congratulates Vintiri others. You find that story on page 13 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. Those are the news making waves this morning coming from Blueprint newspaper. Talking about this Nigeria currency in circulation hit 1.6 trillion naira. I've been asking people, where is the new currency? Because I'm definitely not seeing it anymore
for a very long time. And don't forget also there was a report that says, I think that was early last month, that says that as at the time the new currency was released, after like 2 weeks, and they started lamenting that about 2 point something trillion was not in the bank. So who took it? Where did they take it to?
Funny.
And that is why we were saying that even I was of the opinion that it doesn't mean that because you had to make people go through this pain just to stop vote buying and just to have a transparent process, and at the end of the day, this naira also have been able to go and land in the hands of these same people.
It's actually sad, and that's Nigeria.
I think CBN should come and explain to us.
We need an explanation.
They should actually explain to us why is it that this new naira is now becoming scarce. So we're back to the old one. We're supposed to be using the 2%.
Yes.
And now we're just having
even in the bank. When you go to the bank,
I noticed that when somebody give you new the old money, maybe 10,000, you just see one new money.
I think I've for a while now I've not even seen.
Right?
I think the only one I see more often is the new 200 naira. But when we talk
about 500 some days ago, and somebody gave me like 10k, and then it was just new 501 single one that was there. I was saying, give me new one. Where is the new money? There's no new money anywhere.
There's no new money, and we need an explanation, please.
And then I saw this story here again. El-Rufai to federal government on May 29, intensify security operations for peaceful transition. Now, these people are more concerned
about the transition,
about what they have to do on that special day. They don't care about the people that have been dying,
if not for the transition. El-Rufai will not come out to talk about insecurity.
It's sad. It's really sad, and I feel for the people there. Anyway, we'll move on quickly this morning to the last newspaper we have this morning with us, and that would be the Punch Sports Extra. Now, these are some of the stories we have. Going, NPFL club in relegation. Dog flights as top 3 battles intensify in a bridge season. Now, that story is on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. Everton move, big career decision. This is coming from Iwobi, and that story, of course, is on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. We also have a story here that says why Madrid fears signing Chukwueze. That story is on page 7 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. How I caged Osimhen. This is coming from Tomori, and that story is on page 6 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. We also have a story here that says Devils closing in on Dego deal. That story is on page 4 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. We also have a story here this morning that says Eze ready for 3 Lions. That story is on page 7 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. These are some of the stories we have this morning making waves. You might want to get the copy and see more of the details. That is where we wrap it on the Punch newspaper reviews this morning. But of course, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, I'll be coming in with an analyst to discuss some of these headlines we have seen so far. Don't go anywhere, stay with us.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business and networking, displaying a wide range of arts, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate for huge extra opportunity in diaspora. Look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15th to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 2856. The Nigerian
Ladies, are you ready to shine? Here's a golden opportunity for you to show the world the queen in you, as the second edition of Face of SRTV Ladies Edition is about to begin. What are you waiting for? Register online with just 500 naira and stand a chance of winning a cash prize of 100,000 naira and the deal of becoming our ambassador. There will also be consolation prizes for second and third place winners. To register, kindly pay the registration fee and send your name, age, picture, and state of origin to this number 0906 895 2170. For more inquiries, please call 0907 400 7816. Powered by SRTV London, the face of SRTV.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business and networking, displaying a wide range of arts, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate for huge extra opportunity in diaspora. Look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15th to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447.
Ladies, are you ready to shine? Here's a golden opportunity for you to show the world the queen in you, as the second edition of Face of SRTV Ladies Edition is about to begin. What are you waiting for? Register online with just 500 naira and stand a chance of winning a cash prize of 100,000 naira and the deal of becoming our ambassador. There will also be consolation prizes for second and third place winners. To register, kindly pay the registration fee and send your name, age, picture, and state of origin to this number 0906 895 2170. For more inquiries, please call 0907 400 7816. Powered by SRTV London, the face of SRTV, who takes the crown.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crop, financial product and services, and real estate for huge extra opportunity in diaspora.
You're welcome back from that quick break. Just before that break, like I promised, I was going to come with an analyst to discuss some of these very trending and topical headlines. I have with me here Moses John, a senior reporter here in Abuja. How are you doing this morning, Moses John?
Mrs. I'm doing very well. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Moses.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, Moses. So we have a lot of trending issues this morning. We have a lot of headlines, but I'm going to begin with the one that it's more because I'm more concerned about the people's well-being and welfare, like we always say on the show. We saw that El-Rufai is actually crying out, calling for help, just because there is going to be a major transition of her come May 29. Now, there have been killings over the months in that state. There was no such call.
Yes.
And now we are having this call. He's crying just when a lot of people have died already. On the news, we have how many, what are the figures, patients? And then we saw that he's now calling on the federal government security agencies to come do the needful. Meanwhile, a lot of people have been killed and a lot of people displaced.
We have 1,266 kidnapped.
1,000 something.
Yes.
And then we have
4,973 kidnapped, 1,266 killed.
Now, over these months and weeks, we've been having issues of killings, kidnapping, people being displaced, people being adopted from their very homes. And then there was no such call. And now we're having this issue of El-Rufai calling on federal government and security agencies. Now, what's your take on this?
Well, once again, good morning to you guys. Good morning, princess and patients at the studio. It's unfortunate that we have leaders who are selfish. We have leaders who seem not to have the people they are governing. At the back of family, they are at their heart. Because what is happening in Kaduna, mostly the southern part of the state, is alarming. And then for you, because of the transition program,
yes,
where it's going to be handed over to a new governor-elect, is now calling for federal government to be for security.
Yes.
And one is wondering, why is the call? Why is he calling at this moment?
Yeah.
If at all he knows that there are security challenges in the states, why hasn't he called on federal government about the killings that have been going on in Kaduna before now? And he's the chief security officer of the state. So what has he done to ensure peaceful coexistence? It is the same El-Rufai who said Nigeria can have a Muslim ticket and nothing will happen. You know, and people told him that. He said that because he was trying to use Kaduna as an example that happened in Kaduna, nothing happened. And now we are seeing Kaduna had no peace since this abnormal mixture, abnormal filing of candidates for leadership position in the states, I really don't know how everybody is thinking. We are in a secular society where we have both Muslim, Christian, and in fact, I read somewhere in the news where even the other traditional religion are calling for recognition. And they're also calling that public holiday be given on concerning their religion too. I mean, the citizens have the right to go to worship, and so in finding leadership position, you should put into consideration these differences, so that everybody will have a sense of belonging. But the first is the gift, and so it is you know, I really.
Yes, I felt also the same way you are feeling this morning, and as we can see here, this particular headline is from your paper, Moses. And then we saw that he's actually beckoning on federal government to intensify the security. And so I just felt like these people really do not care about the ordinary Nigerians. They don't care about the people. A lot of people have died, a lot of people misplaced, and of course a lot of people are on the run, fleeing from their own ancestral homes. And then nothing has been done over the months, and all of a sudden, this shows that these people only clamor for the power. They don't really care about the people, and it's very disheartening to see this morning.
And so, Moses, there is a headline here also that says 40 days to go. Buhari government approves 1.535 million naira for 11 road projects. And we're asking, like, it's just some weeks or days to go for Buhari to hand over, and he's approving this project at the time minute.
So much money.
We want to know
over 100 billion.
Yeah.
You know now, boys must talk. As the government is rising now, of course, so many other key persons in the government will have to look at where can they see bread that they'll chop at the end of the day. No, I don't know. I'm about to read further to check which of these routes are they awarded at this time. But again, government is continuity. So if assuming this road is at the heart of the people, is affecting the citizens, I mean, free movement of the citizens, well, it's still a nice one for him to do that, because Nigerians, of course, we want to have a free flow of movement. So if these roads where they are awarding this contract now has direct effect on the masses, I think it's a work of development. But then you and I know that somehow they give this contract at the time limit, so that the incoming government will have to have the rules. So,
and at the end of the day, like you said, we're really hoping that the common Nigerian will benefit from this contract, these things they are trying to set up or put up. And we don't want issues of abandoned project here and there, and misuse of funds, and nobody to give accounts of that. Of these projects. And then we also have a story here this morning, Moses. Of course, I know you are not a farmer, but I want your opinion on this, that high fertilizer prices threaten wet season farming. Now, we're seeing that the rice farmers, a lot of them are complaining. A lot of them are really complaining. Now, they are blaming the rise on inflation and insecurities and others. Now, what's your take on this? Because we know that as it stands, federal government has said that will not be they stopped importation of rice, and then we're supposed to fall back to our own produce,
local rice.
And now we're seeing that the hike, the rise is something that's like today we saw insecurity. Local rice price jumps by 200%, and now farmers rice producers expert blame rising inflation on insecurity and others. Now, what's your take on this?
Well, it has been a recurrent decimal. It has been, an issue that has been on for a quite, for quite some time now. Insecurity is gradually going to turn into food security, food insecurity. To say, because when farmers can't go to farm again, what do you expect? And for farmers to be complaining now that the reason why I think the rice is jacking up is due to insecurity. You can that is expected, because Nigerians these days don't go to farm. And if you have to go to farm, you have to fortify yourself. You either hire the services of security personnel or vigilante, which you have to pay extra for them to protect or guide you while in the farm. So it is expected, really. But really, I really have to call on the federal government. If truly they are serious about self-sufficient, where Nigerians have to feed themselves, they have to intensify effort in ensuring the safety of farmers in their farms.
Because I am thinking that maybe we are not just ready yet. We are not in the place where we can feed the nation yet, so we should keep importing. Because if we keep having insecurity issues, like you pointed out, and of course we keep having the rise in fertilizers, and then these people are not able to meet the demands of the populace. So I'm thinking that I'm of the opinion that maybe we should just go back to importing, and the borders should be open to that.
Well, Princess, it is. Well, if you look at, one by one, so but you see, we have to strive. We have to just ensure that
when you say you are striving, Moses, now it is the common man on the streets that is bearing the brunt.
Yes.
Are you aware of this? Because a lot of these people, like we already see even from most of the headlines today, that these politicians don't care about the people. These same people that voted them into power. And then when we say let's keep trying, and then it keeps going up and people are not able to afford it. So where are we, Moses?
I agree totally with you. I am speaking from an optimistic point of view, where we have to keep talking, and keep asking the government to be needful. The government, most of the leaders sworn to protect the citizen, right? And you have to keep calling on them to do the right thing. And the citizens must also understand that we must work, assiduously. We must work together to ensure we secure, our territory. Nigeria belongs to all of us, and so some few individuals being pulled us to ransom. The government is somehow guilty, because
of course they are guilty.
Yearly for security bills, and then we still have a pocket of war in the country. So the government need to give the needful. They either stand up or they resign. Or if they are overwhelmed, they should resign, and that goes to protect the people to come on board.
Now, just before we let you go, Moses, the Adamawa election has come and gone, and of course, we have a governor-elect, and congratulations to Fitiri. And of course, he will be getting certificate of return soon. Now, just tell us briefly, what are the lessons you think we should learn from this particular Adamawa's election?
Well, I think the lesson that should be drawn from that process is the fact that illegality can start in any way. Because for a resident electoral commissioner, I mean, for a state resident electoral commissioner to now usurp the power of the returning officer and think that would allow to fly. It's shameful, and in fact, if you ask me, the candidate of progressive Congress Senator Aisha Binani should be also prosecuted, because as a matter of fact,
you think so? You think so? She should be prosecuted.
Because why must she go and be giving acceptance speech when you know that the process is still ongoing? You know, the supplementary election was conducted in 20 local governments in Adamawa State, and so far, as at the time the REC announced result without figure, it was only 10 government that results were brought in. When did he
the figures and the numbers, yes, to make that declaration?
The power to announce the result. And Binani, who is a lawmaker, should understand that amount of illegality. As a matter of fact, all those people, including the Commissioner of Police, Director of SSS, and the State Commandant of Civil Defense and all should be prosecuted.
He has been summoned as a matter of
yes, they have been summoned. I think the case is in Abuja now.
Well, I just, like you said, my opinion is where I had that same opinion about Binani's acceptance speech. That was the only thing that came to my mind. I was like, I saw that move as a move of desperation. And I was even telling some people that she is not supposed to fully knowing that the coalition was still ongoing. And that shows that there was something fishy somewhere. We really do hope that these people will be brought to justice so that we don't have a scenario like this ever again in the electoral process.
I actually push that too.
Well, thank you so very much for being part of the show this morning. We appreciate your time, Moses John.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you
have a nice day, sir.
I've been on the phone with Moses John, a senior reporter here in the Federal Capital Territory. And now that was my
you said opinion.
Sometimes
also,
when things happen, you have to look at them critically. You can say a coalition was still ongoing, and then he pointed out, she is a lawmaker, so she's supposed to know some of these laws even more than the lay Nigerians. And then we really do hope that these people, like he said, everybody that is involved, not just one person,
not just the REC,
but all of them will be charged for these very grievous mistakes, so that we don't have a scenario like this ever again in the electoral process. Now, this is a good place to wrap up the show today. And just before we go, don't forget our Nigerian Week London that is very fast approaching. We have a lot of people coming in. Get your tickets, get your stand. Don't be left out. It's going to be fun. Of course, we have a lot of activities lined up already. We have the film, the music, the food, the culture, the people, and of course the business opportunity. I'm more interested in the food and the business opportunity. So you know how it is when Nigerian turns up somewhere. It's going to be colorful, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a great experience for you. So don't be left out. Just get your ticket, book a stand, and be part of it. And of course, also just before we go, don't forget to hit on the notification bell, like our page, like our content. Of course, share our content as well, and invite people to the page, because we have a lot of interesting programs for you. Patient, thank you so much for being part of the show this morning. It's been fun doing this with you. Hopefully we'll do this again tomorrow. Now, while you are out there, stay safe and please drive carefully. Remember that your life matters, so drive carefully and obey the traffic laws. While you are out there, also stay alert and stay safe, especially for those that we have people in Kaduna, Benue, and Niger that are going through a lot of stress. Our hearts are with you while you are out there. Stay safe, and patience. Always remember that peace
is priceless.
So let's give peace
a chance.
To have yourself a very beautiful day. I remain yours truly, Princess KESSY.
And I am Patience OKOSUN.
Bye for now.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of arts, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate. For huge extra opportunity in diaspora, look no further. The 36 states of the Federation